I'm going to start this by saying coaches and programs are far more important than players. New England has a great program. Bill Belichick is a great coach. I think I always hesitate to say that Tom Brady is great. I think he's good. I think he's above average. I think he's top 10. I don't think he's great. I think Bill Belichick is great. I think that Bill Belichick could get success out of anyone. I think you could take a Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. You could take any of these guys and place them in that program in New England with Bill Belichick as the head coach, and these guys would be successful. You got to think, Bill Belichick got success out of Matt Castle. He got success out of Jimmy Garoppolo. And Jimmy Garoppolo might be a great quarterback. We'll see what happens when he's in San Francisco. The guy looks good. The guy looks good. Tony Brissett was another one he got success out of. I think he's a very adaptive coach. He's a very smart coach. He runs a great program. With that said, he doesn't let great students of the game go. He doesn't let great players go. No one has ever left New England and been successful, especially when it comes to coaches or certain players. But no one. Matt Castle left and was not successful. Wes Welker left, went to Denver. He did some great things in Denver, but after about a year and a half, he was done. And I think it's a lot because he was used up, and that's why it was so easy to let him go. Coaches that have left there have never been successful, especially at the NFL level. You got to think. Bill O'Brien, Romeo Crennel, Eric Mangini, Charlie Weiss. Those guys left and they were not successful in the NFL whatsoever. They didn't last long as head coaches, and there's probably a reason for it. Coaches that left and went to the collegiate level, you have Kirk Ferentz and Al Groh. They went to Iowa and Virginia, respectively. The only coach that actually left and had some success, and this wasn't the Bill Belichick New England era. This was Bill Belichick Cleveland era, but that's Nick Saban. Nick Saban left, went to Alabama, and he runs a great program. And it's a program in Alabama that you would probably see the New England Patriots run if they were a college team. The guys are efficient. No matter who he gets, no matter who he puts in, the guys are efficient. And that leads me back to my comment. Coaches and programs are far more important than players will ever be, I think. You do get guys that are game changers, but those are few and far between. You get someone like Cam Newton who, he can control a game just by his physical prowess. Or you get an old guy like Reggie White or Ray Lewis. They can control the game. J.J. Watt, they can control the game just based on their physical prowess. Now, this leads me to my bigger issue. I think Houston should fire Rick Smith, first of all. The GM needs to go. I'm not a fan of this because, like I said, coaches and programs and teams that stick with coaches, GMs, and programs, they win. You got to look at Pittsburgh, New England, Green Bay. They're always in the mix, and they keep coaches around for a long time. Pittsburgh's only had 3 coaches in their whole tenure. That is one of the oldest teams in the NFL, and they've only had 3 head coaches. And it's shown by the 6 Super Bowls. It's shown by the steel curtain. It's shown because every year they're in the playoffs. We play in the AFC, 16-10 teams. And for the past 17, 18 years, I've seen the same quarterbacks, the same teams in the Super Bowl. It's always Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, with the exception of 2011 when the Ravens went. But it's the same teams. It's New England, Indianapolis, Denver, and Pittsburgh. That brings us to my second point of with that, Bill O'Brien needs to go from the Houston Texans as well. Like I said, numbers don't lie. Numbers really don't lie. Statistically speaking, no one has ever left New England under the Bill Belichick era in the past 17 years and been successful anywhere. So I don't know why you would hire someone like that. And like I said, Bill Belichick's not an idiot. He doesn't let people go. Bill O'Brien went to Penn State, was somewhat successful at Penn State, didn't win a national championship, didn't do anything outstanding. He just took he took a team that had been decimated by the NCAA and made them somewhat successful. I wouldn't hire any of these guys. So Bill O'Brien needs to go. Mike Vrabel needs to go. I will say I'd love to keep Romeo Crennel, but Romeo Crennel was a successful defensive coordinator before he went to New England under the Bill Belichick era. Everyone thinks of Bill O'Brien as this quarterback whisperer when he's not. The Houston Texans are a 15-year-old organization. They've started 15 quarterbacks, 9 of which have been in the past 3 years under Bill O'Brien. He can't keep a quarterback healthy. The rest of the team can't stay healthy. I don't know what that is. It's probably because some parts of the team are getting older. I don't want to see Houston waste the talents of at least 2 of the guys that will probably go down as 2 of the greatest players to ever play their position. Deondre Hopkins and J.J. Watt. I don't want to see Houston waste these players' careers because they couldn't find a quarterback, because they couldn't find a coach, because their GM wasn't willing to do everything it took to win. The coaches and the programs are the most important thing. I watched the Houston Texans lose at least 2 games, I can say, completely on Bill O'Brien. At least 2 games. And you can say, well, it's just 2 games, but 2 games matter, especially 2 games at what? Week 3 or 4 when we played New England? If he had put the ball in Deshaun Watson's hand and let Deshaun Watson be an athlete. Or you want to talk about against Seattle. Just let the guy do what he does. Even if you don't let him throw it, just put it in his hands and let him work and see if he can get something. But no, we play conservative. I want to use a term, but I don't want people to get offended. So if you're offended, close your ears for the next 5 seconds. If you play pussy, you're going to get fucked. And that's what Bill O'Brien did. He played soft, and we got beat by New England, which we shouldn't have, which we rarely ever get a chance to beat New England. Last year, you can't blame Brock Osweiler for the reason why we lost to New England in the playoffs. No, Will Fuller and Fedorowicz catch passes in the end zone. We're in a field goal range, but instead we got Brock Osweiler doing something that's out of his nature, trying to come back against a great team. They've got to go. Things have got to change in Houston. We've got to start doing what it takes to win.